So what you do with your cabbage, you prepare it by taking off all of the yucky outer layers of leaves. You cut off the bottom where the core is. You do have to take a paring knife and take out this core. And I've got my salted boiling water, and I'm going to take the cabbage slowly to put it in there and let it sit for just a little bit.
I don't know why I said that on camera.
And you don't want to overboil it. So what I'm going to do is
I'm playing
take
chef right
this,
now.
yep, take this towel with no lint on it, and you're going to prepare your area. Throw this away. Get this down, because once you take the leaves out, you're going to have a bunch of water on the counter. Spin this around here. And once they start to loosen, you take it by the edge here, and you just try to work them off, but you don't pull them off unless they are loose. You're just basically softening the leaves to make them easier to roll the cabbage. So we've got those, just so you see. They're still hard, more flimsy on the edges. I see why people don't use purple cabbage or red cabbage to do this, because it is a lot harder to get the leaves off of this little booger. So in the meantime, since that's taking a while to boil, you can start opening up your cans of tomato products and get everything situated. You're going to use a pan to saute the onions and garlic, so you can do that now if you want to watch it. I'm going to continue on boiling this. You're going to saute your onions and garlic until they're translucent and take them off the heat. That's when you're going to add your beef or your pork, and then sprinkle with your bag of rice.
Rice is nice.
Okay, now the onions are translucent, and I took these little green things out. I don't like that. Bye-bye.
How do you take the...
And remember, you take it off the heat, and I have 2 pounds of pork, and we're going to season that while it's in this pan, which is going to cool down. So I'll put it somewhere else.
I need you.
Okay, I've taken the cabbage out. There's nothing more I can do with this tiny small little piece. So we stop there. You're going to reserve your water. You don't throw it away, because you're going to use it to boil and steam your cabbage rolls once they're in your pot. And the pot I'm using is this cast iron pot, and then if you don't want to use that, you can use a turkey roaster. Now we're going to let these leaves cool, and then you're going to get them back on the cutting board, and you're going to cut out the core. So you're going to find the core. You don't want to cut too much, or else your leaf will fall apart. But you don't want to eat that hard core. You just cut off that and throw it away. And do that for the rest of them. So we have those cut, waiting on the side. I have now my cooled off onion mixture, and what I do is split it down the middle. Half of this side is going to be left over for your sauce, and the other is to put into your meat. So I'm going to add that to my bowl, and then I'm going to put in the meat in here, And my seasonings, I'm going to use a little bit of this coconut aminos, garlic salt, onion powder, and a little bit of red pepper. And of course your rice. I've added my seasonings and my meat. And you don't necessarily need to use a whole bag of rice, but what are you going to do with like an extra tablespoon of it? So it just goes all in there. Happy. Rice is nice. Rice is nice. Eat your freaking rice. This is how it looks after the ingredients are incorporated in the meat. What I'm going to do is use the ice cream scooper. And we're going to start filling these. And then some of them are going to get some of these, but it's a secret. So you take a spoonful. If I can use both hands, it would be a lot easier. Okay, got this. Scoop, scoop, scoop. Yum, yum. Here's the first one. I'll just stick that in there. Okay, I need both hands to roll, so I'll be right back. Okay, here's one roll. It's kind of wonky, but you get the picture. Even if it's opened up, you can even use pieces of the leftover cabbage. And I've sprayed the pan with oil, and you're going to put them in there circular, obviously, and then the folded side is down. Okay, that one is really sad, but the rest of them are done. I'll never hopefully use purple cabbage again because it is a nightmare to try to get all the meat in those things. And I have still meat left over, which I'll just probably plop in. So I just did that in hopes that they will cook and not fall apart. Here's your Kool-Aid. No. You're going to take your reserved boiled cabbage water and add it to the pot. You're going to fill these up till the water reaches up the side 3/4. Is it there? It's good enough. And I should have told you to preheat the oven while you're making those rolls to 350. So you're going to cover and cook for 45 minutes. So since I don't have my cans of tomato soup, which you're going to follow the original recipe, I have thrown out my water. I added ketchup, and I have a can of tomato paste. And it's over a low flame just to heat it through. And you're going to incorporate that. Now, since the ingredients are a little different, you're going to shift your other main ingredients, like not add as much red wine vinegar, adjust the sugar level, and since this recipe is all about taste, and that's how the old Polish way is, you just don't know, it's always going to be a little different. You're going to add your onion mixture. I'm going to season with lots of freshly ground black pepper. Probably half a tablespoon. A little bit of spice. Red pepper. Lots of garlic salt. Don't add too much now. Some coconut aminos, which you may or may not have. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of red wine vinegar to start. I have my can of tomato puree. I have a large can of diced tomatoes, petite diced. And the important ingredient is the gravy master. This adds color and that umami flavor. And I add, to start, 1/8 cup of brown sugar and then stir that around. So I gave it a little taste test and it needed garlic powder, some more, that's just the oven, garlic powder, onion powder. I added more garlic salt, brown sugar, and red wine vinegar, and then also that gravy starter. See, that can of tomato soup really adds flavor, and without it, you just have a different flavor, that's all. So you don't have to cook this at all, you just let it sit off of the flame and wait for your cabbage rolls to be done. So here's the recipe, and basically you're going to take out the cabbage rolls from the oven after the 45 minutes. You're going to drain the water out, and then you're going to add the mixture, the tomato mixture we just made, and you're going to cook it again for 45 minutes covered. And once it comes out, you can taste it and add more seasonings if you need to. And that's it. Golumpki.